Hello, and welcome to a video on solving systems of equations with graphing. The goal of this video is to find an x and a y that satisfy both equations given. So for example, we're given two equations here in number one. We're given y equals negative 4x minus 2 and y equals x plus 3. And there is a number for x and a number for y that will work for both equations. There are multiple ways to solve a system, but what we're going to focus on in this video is the graphing method. So you'll see that both of these equations are in slope-intercept form, y equals mx plus b. And we did learn a little bit about this about a month ago, where we have three terms in the slope-intercept form. We have the y term, which is isolated on one side of the equation. We have the x term, which has a coefficient or a number with it that is the slope. And then we have the b term, or the constant, or the number without any x's or y's. And that is the number at the end, and that's going to be the y-intercept. So when graphing in slope-intercept form, I always like to start with the y-intercept. So if I look at the first equation, y equals negative 4x minus 2, the y-intercept should be the number without any variables. And I see that it is negative 2. Once you've identified what the y-intercept is, you can plot it on the y-axis, because the y-intercept is where the line will cross the y-axis. So we have negative 2. The number with x, negative 4, is going to be the slope. And the slope here is negative 4. There's a couple of things you have to remember. So the first thing you have to remember is that whole numbers are over 1. So it's really negative 4 over 1. The next thing you have to remember about slope is that it's rise over run. So we're going to want to go up 4, and we're going to want to run 1. Well, what does run mean? Run is a way of saying left and right. Well, which way do I go? Do I go left or right? If you're rising, you're going to want to go to the right if it's positive, and to the left if it's negative. So I like to think of it like this. When you're rising, the negative side of the x-axis is to the left, and the positive side of the x-axis is to the right. So that's a good way to remember it. So from our negative 2 y-intercept, we're going to go up 4, and that's going to get us to positive 2. From positive 2, we're going to want to go to the left 1, and we're going to go to the left because it's negative. So we have a point here. And we can connect these. It's going to look something like this. Let's try the other line. Y equals x plus 3. Well, I start with the y-intercept. I have a positive 3. And I can put a dot at positive 3. And I'm going to have a slope of 1. So again, we have to remember 1 is over 1. And it's positive this time. So we are going to rise 1, up 1. And we're going to run to the positive, or we're going to move to the right 1, because it's positive. So from my positive 3 intercept here, we're going to go up 1 and over 1, up 1 and over 1. And you start to see the trend, right? So as you start to see the trend, we can see that our line is going to cross here, 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 here. And what we can do is we can connect. We can connect these points. Now that we have both lines graphed, what is the solution to this system is where they intercept. Right here. And the point that would be our solution would be -1, +2. Let's try another one. Here I have y equals 3x minus 4 and y equals -1/2 x plus 3. So if I'm looking at the first equation, I have a y-intercept of -4. And I can just put a dot. And then I have a slope of 3 over 1, positive 3 over 1. So we're going to move up 3, and we're going to move to the right 1. Up 3 over 1, up 3 over 1, up 3 over 1. And, once we get our points in there, we can draw our line in. Let's try the second. We have a positive 3 y-intercept. So I'm going to put a point at positive 3. And then I have a slope that is equal to -1 over 2. So rise over run. So we're going to go up 1. And we're going to run to the left. We're going to go up 1, left 2. All right, we're starting to see that trend line, right? And we can draw some points in. We look to see where those lines intersect, and it's right here, which is at 2, 2. Let's take a look at another one. Here I have y equals -1 and y equals -x minus 2. So if we start with the y equals -1, the number without a variable is -1. So I'm going to start a point there. And from -1, we have no slope, right? There's no x value. It's missing. So we don't rise or run, or we don't rise. So I have a horizontal line at -1. If we take a look at the other one, we have a y-intercept of -2. Put a point at -2. And the slope is going to be -1 over 1, right? Because there's an invisible 1 in front of that x. So we're going to go up 1, and we're going to go left 1. So up 1, left 1, up 1, left 1, up 1, left 1. And we kind of get the trend of the line. We draw it in. We look to see where they intersect. It's right here. And that's -1, -1. try another one. All right, if we take a look at our first equation here, we have y equals negative 1/2 x minus 2. So I'm going to start and I'm going to look for my number with no x's and y's. We have negative 2, so I'm going to start with a negative 2 point on the y-axis. Then I have a slope of negative 1/2. I'm going to go up 1. We're going to go left 2, right, because that's negative. So up 1, left 2. Up 1, left 2. And we can now connect the dots. Then I can move to my other one. I have this time where our y-intercept is positive 2. And my slope is negative 3/2. I'm going to go up 3 and left 2, right? Left 2 because it's negative. So we're going to go up 3, left 2. All right. So we get the trend of the line. We draw our line in. We see that the intercept is right here. That's at 4, negative 4. Okay, let's try another harder one. So sometimes the equations are not in slope-intercept form, and we have to fix them. So let's take a look on how we can do that. So my first equation here is x minus y equals negative 3. The secret to getting it in slope-intercept form is to solve for y. So here, I'm going to move my x to the other side. I get negative y, negative x, minus 3. And then to reverse a negative y, I just have to change each term's sign. So I have y equals x plus 3. From here, I can see that we have a positive 3 slope, positive 3 y-intercept, and a slope of 1/1, positive 1/1. So we're going to go up 1, right 1. Notice the trend, and draw my line in. We have to fix the other one now. So we have 3x, so let's draw a line here, 3x plus 2y equals negative 4. I'm going to start by moving my x over, so I have 2y equals negative 3x minus 4. And then I'm going to divide each by 2. So I'm left with y equals negative 3/2 x minus 2. So I divide each term by 2. Now if I'm analyzing my slope-intercept form, I have a negative 2 y-intercept. And I have a slope of negative 3/2. So it's going to be up 3 and to the left 2. Up 3 left 2. And I can draw that line in. And I look to see where we've intercepted here. And it's -2, +1. Okay, let's do one more. 4x plus y equals 2 and x minus y equals 3. First things first is we're going to have to fix. So we have 4x plus y equals 2. I'm going to isolate my y. I want to get y alone. So I'm going to move my 4x to the other side, and I get y equals -4x plus 2. Well, that's nice because I don't have to do anything else to that. So now if we try to graph this line, we have a +2 y-intercept. And I have a 4/1 slope. So -4/1. So it's going to be up 4 to the left 1. Well, the reason why I put this problem in here is, well, what happens if I don't have a big enough graph, right? I have to go down. So if I have to go down 4, right, because my point would be somewhere over here, right? It'd be way off the graph. But if I go down 4, I would be at -2, and I'd have to go to the right to make it negative. So my line would be right here. Okay, let's take a look at the second one. We have x minus y, line here. Start by moving the x over. I get -y equals -x plus 3. And then I have to, because I have -y, I have to change the sign on each term. So I get y equals x minus 3. So I have a -3 y-intercept. And then I'm going to go up 1 and to the right 1. Get the trend of the graph. And then we just draw the line in. I look to see where they've intercepted. It's right here. 1, -2. That's the answer. All right. Well, if you have any additional questions on how to solve systems of equations using graphing, please send me an email. Thanks.